huge hole now, down by 2 with 11 minutes left.
Well, 11 minutes to go here in the third period. Russia with a 2-goal lead. Taking their first gold medal since 2011 when they beat Canada in that comeback in Buffalo. Moved ahead by Cousins. In comes Cousins across the line. Dylan Cousins works back along the boards. Drops that back to Byram. He feeds across to Addison. Kalen Addison is shot. That trickles down. They score! Tipped by McMichael. And Canada's back within 1. 34 seconds after the Russian goal. This might get reviewed. But McMichael turned away on the breakaway earlier. Gets a deflection here.
The official was making the review sign almost immediately. McMichael is up. Oh, it's in the top of the slot. They want this reviewed, whether McMichael directs this into the net with his right foot or not. Well, I don't think so. I mean, that puck is halfway up his shin pad. He lifts his foot off the ice, but it would be hard.
You cannot direct the puck
right
any manner with your foot under IHF rules. In the NHL, you can turn your blades. If they rule that he turned his foot to direct it, that would be no goal. It's a subtle difference between the IHF rule and the NHL rule.
But it matters a lot here.
Right. Now, he wasn't looking. I mean, the puck was behind him.
So they'll have to determine that. I mean, was he trying to get it to the front of the net? Was he trying to get out of the way of it? Was he trying to let it hit him? They're going to have to determine that. That's going to be a tough one. The shot is partially blocked here, and it bounces all the way across the ice.
Well, it's off one foot and off the other, so I mean, that's hard to say he directed that.
It would be really hard for me to buy that he was good enough to direct that to the net. So it deflects off Voronkov off the right shin and calf.
It's a goal. Canada's back within 1.
That's the right call.
So 10:40 to go. Canada once again down 1.
Isn't that the way it is? You miss a breakaway, one bounces off your calf and into the net. Canada, that's the first time that line in that configuration was together. McMichael's on the ice with Lavoie. There's the Addison shot that deflected off of McMichael in the net. So Lavoie and Addison, or Lavoie, McMichael, and Cousins were out together.
Now this is his foot. Centering Heat and Lafreniere. Addison, lead pass for Heat, chips in for Lafreniere. Galchenyuk knocks it down. Feeds out ahead for Alexandrov. Trying to spin away from Addison. Alexandrov walks in, a little backdoor pass. This for Dorofeyev. Romanov keeps it alive. Now here's Nolan Foote with it. Foote. And the Kelowna Rocket to the western leg. Brings back with Byram. And now Byram lifts that down to the Russian zone. Into the forecheck goes Lafreniere. Hayton's trying to knock that free from Sokolov. Morozov goes into center ice. Knocked down by Lafreniere for Smith. In comes Ty Smith. Smith drops it off for Foote. Alexandrov got in the way. Hayton knocked it down. Feeds down to Foote. Nolan Foote with the room. Shoots from a sharp angle. That goes high. And knocked down by Ball.
No, we're in for a finish now.
Ball fires it down. When aren't we?
These teams have played some unbelievable medal round games.
Romanov. Hook free by McMichael, but the play is offside at the Russian line. Russia takes a 3-1 lead. Back comes Canada. The goal by McMichael. Now it's 3-2. On the right is René Fizzel, the president of the IHF since 1994. He's stepping down when his term expires in September. On the left is Frank Gonzalez, the tournament chairman. Originally from St. Catharines, Ontario, is now the president of the Spanish Ice Sports Federation. Not just hockey, figure skating, curling, luge, bobsled, you name it. McMichael throws that ahead for Addison. Kalen Addison, a centering pass, knocked down by Kruglov in front. Kruglov back across to Sorkin. Back from Sorkin, shoots it in. Glove by Hofer, and he'll hang on to that.
Connor McMichael starting to get more and more ice time here in the third period. He missed a breakaway. He's got the goal off of his leg. He plays for Dale Hunter in London, so there would be a great familiarity for Hunter to know where he thinks that McMichael would fit. Now he's out with Veleno and Foudy.
Foudy, another London night. Now Polyenkov with it. Polyenkov in the corner on McMichael. Plays that back at the point for Sorkin. Winds and shoots. Bouncing puck. Hofer gets down to the deflection and makes the stop.
Good traffic in front of Hofer. He's got to find it again, make the save, but that rebound control that the players always talked about here comes into play again. It's a long shot. Sorkin's at the point covering for the defenseman, and Ratisha is inside of Ty Smith. Hofer has to track that, and he makes a really difficult save.
Now Voronkov with a face-off against Delandria. Off the face-off win by Delandria.
Penalty coming up for Russia here.
Delandria triple the high stick. Lafreniere picks it up, and as Marchenko touches up with 8:48 to go in the third period, Canada's going to the power play as Voronkov goes off.
Second penalty of the game for Voronkov as he just runs straight over top of Ty Delandria.
Veleno, Cousins, Lafreniere, Hayton, and Addison come out on the Canadian power play. Canada 1 for 5 with 5 shots total. The goal scored by Dylan Cousins on a 5-on-3. Veleno gets a warning. Wins the face-off back to Addison. Kalen Addison for Lafreniere. Alexis Lafreniere back to Kalen Addison. Across to Hayton, walks it and shoots. Scores! Barrett Hayton has tied the game! He can barely raise his arms, but he can score a tying goal in the gold medal game.
What an inspirational, important, critical goal by their team captain. I saw Hayton earlier today. I thought there was no chance he was going to be able to play. I'm shocked he's in the game, and I'm amazed at how hard he has played as this game went on. He was nervous early, got himself into the game, and this power play finds Hayton with the wrister. A beauty up over the blocker of Miftahoff. Addison sets it up as he's done all tournament, and the captain comes through to tie the game at 3.
Now that pass picked off at center ice by Dorofeyev, working on Bernard Docker. 8.5 to go in the third period, a 3-3 tie. Cody. Rink wide pass, knocked down by McMichael. He chops that back to the Russian zone. Alexandrov with it. And now Morozov picks it off. In comes Morozov around Foudy. Tries to kick that free. Wait for teammates to arrive. Picked off by Foudy again. And Foudy shovels that down to the Russian zone. That'll be icing against Canada.
What an unbelievable performance. You can only imagine the disappointment of Barrett Hayton yesterday when he was driven into the boards. It looked like we heard him yell in the arena. The injury seemed like there was no way he was going to be in the lineup. His third period goal has erupted the Canadian bench.
Face off won by Delandria. Moves that down to McMichael. And now the Russians call for icing.
The Russians are starting to lose their cool here a little bit. This time it was Havanov. All of a sudden, Russia has taken more penalties than Canada in this game. 6-5 on the power plays. Canada with 2 power play goals, Russia with 1. You know, Gord, I'm looking at this 3-3 game, and we're talking right now about the Hayton power play goal. Let's not forget the McMichael goal. That was 34 seconds after the Russians took a 3-1 lead. If there was momentum that needed to be changed, something had to happen. And it was the McMichael goal off the back of his leg that helped springboard Canada into a position to tie this game.
Canada's goals 2 minutes and 1 second apart to tie it up. And now a centering pass by Foodie was blocked. Check that Lafreniere, and now Cousins with it. Back at the point is Hayton. Barrett Hayton walks across the top. He's shot there by Havanov. Gets around Denisenko. Hayton still with it. Loose in the corner, taken down by Zamula. Lafreniere on it. Works out of the corner, Lafreniere. Spins and shoots. That just off a skate. Over the glass and out of play. Barrett Hayton, the Peterborough, Ontario native, becomes a Canadian junior legend with a tying goal here in the third. Time now for the Gatorade shift of the game.
Trailing 3-2 just a few moments ago. Kalen Addison finds the captain, Barrett Hayton. Hayton's wrister beats Miftahoff. This game is tied at 3.
Gatorade, rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Bueno steps in for the face-off against Kruglov. Bueno out there with Dudas and Foot. Face-off, one back to Byram. Owen Byram. Down to Dudas. In the corner for Foot. Foot trying to poke that back. Dudas steal the boards, now picked up and moved ahead by Sorkin. Out to play it is Hofer. Leaves it there for Addison. Now Valeno knocked it down. And Kruglov fires it back down. Byram. Here's Valeno. Joe Valeno. Feeds that back to Byram. Addison up for Valeno. Gets that down the Russian zone. It's knocked down there by Misfuel. Byram shields off Marchenko, and Byram back with it. Puck squirts back in front. Hofer knocks that away and flips it back to center. Foodie can fly, and he comes on Misfuel, and Misfuel quickly knocked that away from him. Voronkov flips that ahead. Knocked down by Bernard Docker. Around he goes to Foodie. And now Misfuel drops it back to Zhuravlov. Misfuel. Center ice and flips that down. Put it over the glass. But from center ice, there's no penalty, and the face-off will be at center ice. 5:45 to go in the third period. It's Canada and Russia. Knotted at 3 in the third period of the gold medal game of the 2020 World Junior Hockey Championship. Back here on Ostrava, 5:45 to go in the third period. Canada and Russia for the gold medal here. Barrett Hayton has the tying goal for Canada. And now Smith gains center ice and fires that down to the Russian zone. In comes Hayton on the forecheck. Drop back, and that shot fired wide by Cousins. Alexandrov knocked down by Hayton with a high stick. Waved off as the Russians waited. Alexandrov drops it back for Pilyenkov. If the game is tied in regulation, it's 3-on-3 overtime until there's a winner. There's no shootout in the gold medal game. Dorofeev drops that back. Zamula long shot. Hofer makes the stop. And Bernard Docker has it back.
Barrett Hayton's in some distress at the Canadian bench. He got hit right in front of the penalty boxes here.
Now brought in by Havanov. Havanov works in on ball. Shoots. Hofer makes the stop. And is able to hang on.
Hayton's talking to athletic therapist Mike Bernstein. Across the ice from the Canadian bench, Hayton's going to get run into.
It's the second bump from Rozov.
You see how tightly he grips that left arm to his body. Not really a big hit. I mean, he's finishing the check on him, and you can see Hayton right away, man, that stings for him. Staying on the bench, however.
Denisenko had that shot deflect wide. Hofer plays it around to foot. Knocked down by Dellandrea. Plays it back for Ball. And now Dellandrea pulls that trade for Canada along with Foot. Dellandrea works it ahead, fires that down to the Russian zone, and they're going to call that icing as the shooting came from the other side of center ice. 4:33 to go, and the face-off back down to the Canadian zone.
Valeri Bragin sees his team with a 3-1 lead. 34 seconds after Maxim Sorkin scored to make it 3-1. Connor McMichael made it 3-2, and then Barrett Hayton tied it up on the power play.
Face off, one back by Kruglov to Zhuravlov. Feeds that back to Sorkin, a long shot. Home for the save. And now picked up by Lavoie. Raphael Lavoie skates it in along with Nolan Foot. Canada changing. Lavoie fires, that goes high. Foot back on it, knocks it down. Off the bench comes Thomas. Lavoie works it free. Back for Thomas. Akil Thomas to the point he goes. The puck put it out on Bernard Docker. Now moved ahead. In comes Thomas with a chance. Throws it, but he scores! Akil Thomas has given Canada the lead with less than 4 minutes to go in the third period. His first goal of this World Junior Hockey Championship.
Akil Thomas had played under 4 minutes in this game through 2 periods. He's on the ice with the injury to Barrett Hayton. The centers are moved around a little bit. This loose puck, Akil Thomas jumps to it. The second-round pick of the Los Angeles Kings gets to the loose puck. Miftahoff misses the poke check. His first goal, as you mentioned, Gord, his second point of the tournament. And Akil Thomas has made it 4-3 Canada.
And now Valeri Bragin is talking to referee Lassi Heikkinen.
The only thing I could think that they may be challenging or want to challenge is the entry into the zone. It seems like it's okay. Think of Tyler Steenbergen a couple of years ago in Buffalo. Doesn't have a shift forever. His first goal of the tournament turns out to win the gold medal. Can Akil Thomas have done the same thing?
Now Polyenkov goes back for it. What a turn of events. Canada has its first lead. Dudas down to Foudy. Liam Foudy works it free. Now Foudy in the corner with it. Foudy works that down. Milano will play a ton here down the stretch. Knocks that back in the corner. Zamula. Russians came back to tie against the Swedes in the semifinal. Won the game in overtime. Now trying for the equalizer here. Marchenko turns it over. Dudas out to Valeno. And Podkolzin has it back. Vasily Podkolzin works in. Podkolzin, poke check by Valeno. Back comes Lafreniere with Valeno. Lafreniere in, shoots, that goes wide. Picked up now by Romanov. Alexander Romanov winds in. In on Ball, Kevin Ball. Separated Podkolzin from the puck. Now a chance on the side of the goal. Podkolzin down, roll it wide. A penalty coming to Canada. Havanov feeds it back to Denisenko. In for Havanov. Havanov, a centering pass. That missed Romanov. And the puck back to center ice. Touched up by Cousins. No, he didn't get it. Denisenko in for Havanov. Havanov winds in. Morozov had to poke away by Ball. And with 2:41 to go in the third period, Ball is called for hooking, and Russia will go to the power play.
Oh, man, this third period has been unbelievable. Here is the penalty on Kevin Ball as Podkolzin finds a little bit of room to go to the front of the net. The Akil Thomas goal. Dramatic goal as he beats Miftahoff. The Canadian bench will explode as they've taken a 4-3 lead. in the hallway below the rink. That's the legend Vladislav Tretiak watching a TV feed, shaking his head.
Timeout called. Igor Larionov on the Russian bench, along with Dragan, talking to the Russian team. Russia 1 for 5 on the power play with 10 shots.
Canada with 3 straight goals in the third period, trailing 3-1. Now that penalty killing group that did such an amazing job in the first period when they took 4 penalties will have a beyond important kill. Now Russia has the goaltender out. It's a 6-on-4. I don't love this gourd off the face-off. I'd prefer to wait till I had possession to take the goaltender out of the net. You lose the draw, the defensive team shoots at 200 feet, it's over.
Mileno will face off against Voronkov. Draw one back to Denisenko to Romanov. Across to Zamula. Romanov fires, hope for the save, and there's no rebound.
Oh boy.
Mom and Dad.
I hope somehow they're enjoying this through their nerves. This is the Romanov point shot through a screen. A little bit of an exhale
for Elaine and Steven.
Although 8 seconds just ran off the clock. A long way to go yet.
Now Galandria wins it back to Bernard Docker. Docker fires it down and misses. Back to pick it up is Zamula. In for Havanov. Being watched there by Foudy. Havanov gains center ice, winds it in, fires. Hofer knocks it down. He shoots at the empty net. It goes off a Russian player, and the faceoff will be outside. Was he going for the empty net goal?
Well, he's trying, perhaps, but trying to clear it as well. But what a gutsy play by Joel Hofer to clear the puck from that position.
Now, Javi Boulin's asking Dragan, you want the goalie back at the net? The faceoff's going to be outside the Canadian line. And they're going to keep the 6 skaters on the ice here. Some confusion on the Russian bench there. 2:11 to go in the third period. Another face-off win for Canada. Dudas with it. Aiden Dudas backhands that towards the empty net. Zamula goes back for it. 2 minutes to go in the third period. In comes Puck, pulls it across the line. Drops that back and wraps it around. Bowen Byram slaps it off the boards, but not out. Morozov knocks it down for Romanov. Now Dudas on it. Aiden Dudas. So was that off the camera? And that's going to be a penalty to Canada for delay of game. It hit the camera above the glass. Now that is... going to check on this now.
There would be ground rules, if you will, discussed about this. Is the camera in play or is it out of play?
The camera is
it's out of play. I mean, looking at that angle, that puck is out of play now. The referees don't have that look.
Right.
They won't have a secondary look here. The linesman immediately called a 2-minute penalty.
Doesn't look like it's going to be a penalty against Canada.
The Russians are infuriated. This is not going to be a penalty. That camera is our TSN center ice camera. That is behind the glass. It's placed behind the glass for that purpose. Oh boy.
Voronkov for the faceoff. Scramble draw. Bernard Docker gets to it. Now Denisenko. Inside a minute to go in the Russian power play. Havanov feeds that back for Romanov. Across to Zamula. Feeds it back across. Havanov a shot. He cued that wide. Denisenko on it. Grigori Denisenko.
That's going to be a penalty here.
Penalty to Russia. We saw the same call on Veleno earlier for knocking the defender's stick out of his hand. That's going to do it for the Russian power play, which has 44 seconds remaining.
Dorofeyev is going to go to the penalty box.
It's interference is the call under IHF rules.
Same penalty that was called on Veleno. It's the same thing. It's interference. They called it in the first period. They'll call it here in the third period. Dorofeyev lifts the stick out of Fudi's hand. So we've got 4-on-4 to close the game, well, to close most of the game out. If Canada can get control of the puck, Russia can't pull the goaltender. If you can keep the puck rolling around down in this end of the ice, you'll keep the goalie in the net.
Always think though that 4-on-4 is a disadvantage for the defending team. A little more room for the attackers.
You win the draw, you've got the puck, however.
Veleno lost the draw to Havanov, but now gets it back. And Veleno scrums it back in the corner. Stepping up is Fudi, and Veleno feeds that back to Byram.
That's a good 20 seconds for Joe Veleno right there. Outstanding work.
Bernard Docker knocks that down to the Russian zone. Now in the 4-on-4, Denisenko in across the Canadian line. Denisenko deals back inside a minute to go. Mitrovic to the bench. Rush with the extra skater on the ice. In comes Romanov. Head back in the corner. Havanov. Denisenko. Morozov. Denisenko winds and shoots. His stick broke. Picked up by Fudi. Plays it back to center right. And now Canada on the power play. Denisenko slams his stick to the ice in frustration. And he's going to get a penalty here, I believe. Denisenko's going off with 37 seconds left in the third period. 5-on-3 Canada for the rest of the third period. And the captain is unglued in the penalty box.
The penalty is that Denisenko carried the broken stick all the way to the penalty box. He's trying to clearly shoot the puck from the top here. His stick craters on him. Oh, and so he played the puck there. That's the penalty on Denisenko. As Fudi was breaking out, he tried to poke the puck away. Canada, with a 3-goal third period, should be able to milk this away. Win the puck. You don't have to shoot it. Don't shoot it. Hold on to it.
Bernard Docker down to Hayton. Back out there for Canada. Cousins with it now. Back for Lafreniere. Canada playing keep away now. Lafreniere in the corner for Cousins. Cousins. 20 seconds to go in the third period. Lafreniere back to Byram. Byram shovels it down to Lafreniere. Looks down to Cousins. 10 seconds to go in the third period. Hayton feeds it down to Cousins. Dylan Cousins in, shoots. Missile the save. And Canada's going to win it. It's a gold medal in Ostrava. As Canada comes back and beats Russia 4-3.
The Connor McMichael goal, 34 seconds after trailing by 2, spurs the comeback. McMichael, Barrett Hayton with an inspirational goal on the power play to tie, and Akil Thomas.